Greetings everyone! Today I want to do a review of this 100 watt LED module. Very inexpensive, bought it off of eBay from a Chinese seller. Cost $1.70 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was under $3. And there was no shipping cost. It was very inexpensive. One thing I've noticed about these cheap LED modules and things you buy off of eBay, they're always overrated as to their power. I bought this little lamp off of eBay a while ago. It's supposed to be 5 watts, but when I measure the actual power drawn, it comes out about 2.5 watts. So, you know, that's just one example. Now, I'm kind of doing this video for a friend who has a barn, and he put these inexpensive LED fixtures inside, and it had various ratings, and he noticed a couple things. For example, he had a 50 watt fixture, and when he measured the power drawn, it was only using 30 watts. Now, there's a couple reasons I think they do that. Like I say, with the cheap stuff, they always overrate the power. Another thing is that the modules, the LED modules inside, can't handle the actual rated power, so they derate it a little bit, so it's not going to burn out as quick. However, even in that case, several of those have burned out, and he wants to put new LED modules inside, you know, hopefully better quality ones that last longer. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this thing. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but I can see there is an array of LEDs. There's 14 LEDs in this direction and 10 in this direction. So there's a total of 140 little chips in there. And there's 10 in this direction, as I say. And the indium gallium nitride LEDs that they use have a normal forward voltage of about 3 volts. So 10 times 3 is 30 volts. So that's where they get that from. And there's 14 this way, as I said. And if I configure the current, I can kind of estimate what the real power of this LED is. But before I get into that, I recommend doing a low power test to see the quality, if the little chips inside are all matched, because some unscrupulous eBay sellers will sell you very poor quality ones that some of the LEDs don't even light up. So what I'm doing with my power supply here on the bench, I am running this at very low power. So I'm setting it for 25 volts. Since this is 30 volts plus, it'll barely light up. So there you can see all the little chips inside, and they're all lighting up, so that is very good to see. Now, they don't have to all light up evenly, it's just as long as they all do light up. So that tells me they're using quality chips inside and they're matched up, so it does seem to be a decent product as far as that goes. One feature of these newer LEDs is they're tying all the columns together at each LED. So there's a grid of wires like this. Of course, I'm only showing 9 LED chips, whereas in the actual LED, like this one below, there's 140. But anyhow, with the old way, if one of the LEDs went open circuit in one of these columns, it would take the whole column out, and the rest of the LEDs would have to handle that current. So if you lost another column, you know, more current would be shunted around, and you may not even notice it, because as more current is shunted, those LEDs would get brighter as they took on that extra current, but it would just make them fail faster until the point there was too much current and you go to turn the LED on and blip, it goes right out. The whole chip is open now. Now in this design, if one of the LEDs go out, current will just shunt around it and it won't take the column out. Hopefully these LEDs are rated enough that they can't handle the extra current, but there's 14 columns, so losing one LED is not going to be a huge burden on those other LEDs as long as you don't lose too many. So all in all, a much better design. So is this thing really 100 watts? That's where I don't agree. Like I say, they tend to overrate these things, and when I power this up at low power with my little magnifier here, I can look and see the tiny chip inside, and they're definitely not high power chips, even though there's so many of them. I estimate that they're rated in the 50 to 100 milliamp range. 14 rows times 100 milliamps, that's 1.4 amps times 30, the total operating voltage of this LED, gives me about 42 watts. So in the case of my friend who is looking to replace the burned out LED modules, if the LED drivers are putting only 30 watts into these LEDs that are around 30 volts, I would say that this is probably a good substitution. So let's power this up at full brightness. I'm just running it at 30 volts, 1 amp, the maximum of my little supply here. And wow, is that bright. Let me point the camera up and then power it up so you can see the light as it bounces off of objects. Yeah, that's very bright. It's a nice neutral white. It's not very bluish like some of them are. You can get these in different color temperatures. So there you go. I don't think these are 100 watts. You can certainly run them at 100 watts. I don't think they would last very long. For longevity though, I would run them under 40 watts. But still, for about $3 under 40 watts, much better design than before, I would say that these are worth it. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching.